something, isn't it? The open plains, the midpoint of the American East, the Wild West. Jeff is awesome. Little did I know this summer I would travel from the northern tips of Alaska to the southern fire-scorched hills of the California Highlands. My first stop was at Glacier National Park. I pulled into camp and there was just one other guy there. His name was Matt. And he was a bear photographer. And he told me some of the stories about bear. One I remember was he was in Yellowstone. And there was a plane doing a flyby, dropping these clouds of protein pellets. And the ranger points out a bear running behind this plane, gobbling up these protein pellets just from the cloud coming behind the airplane. And the park ranger says that bear will be back here October 6th in exactly 1 year because he knows that plane's gonna come back. I have a calendar and I can't know what I'm doing in a year. These bears live in a way we can't even comprehend. That's the creature I want to be. And here I was on this trip, not exactly sure where I'm gonna end up, not exactly sure what timetable I'm on, just a general feeling pushing me forward.
You think you have an instinct to survive. And so the only thing anybody can agree about today is that we ought to survive.
Summertime and the living's easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich and your mama's good looking. So don't you cry, no, don't you shed a tear.
Take it away. Take us for a walk.
Yo, can you believe that it's 10 p.m. right now? It's 10 p.m. You can see everything. This isn't camera tricks. I can literally see anything. If I had to guess what time it was and I had no idea, I'd say it's 7 a.m.
On the subject, did you know up north that summertime it don't end? No, the sun stays awake all night. It could be 1 o'clock in the morning and it'll still look bright outside. It's like, what is going on? Why does summer never stop? It's an all-day party.
Here I am, 11:30, just finished dipping in the hot springs, eating my dinner, drinking some beer, and I'm like, I need to get on the road right now. Any parting advice, Mr. Dean?
Yes. The main one is don't
Sweat the small stuff.
All that kind of night.
We are always thinking that the satisfaction of life will be coming later.
Okay, not only have I gotten successfully into Canada, I'm driving through some towns that I was recommended. First one being Kimberley, and there's a bunch of cars lined up about it. So I asked someone, like, what's going on at the middle school? They're like, oh, it's an award ceremony for the seniors. So I look it up on Facebook, and I'm like, maybe I should go. This is the taste of local culture that I'm after on this adventure. So let's go see what Canadian high school is like.
If you're really looking for a seat, I can see 3 there, 2 there.
You know, a lot of people would ask, is traveling by yourself lonely? Well, yeah, there's times where it's lonely. But the cool thing about traveling by yourself is there's no distraction. There's no, wake up, we're going to go do this because, X, Y, and Z wants to, and you're just along for the ride. When you're traveling alone, each day has to meet the needs, has to meet something going on inside you. There are days where you need rest.
Okay. As you can see, I'm fairly exhausted. Last night, we scrambled to find It was not awesome sleeping in my car last night. Let's just say that. So I didn't even get out to set up my car. Usually I have things in the trunk that I'll replace to the front seat. But I also, that same day, was curious about, what's the tactical covert sleeping in your car thing? I could just climb back there and huddle on some blankets. That's what I did last night. That was my bed. I mean, honestly, it was not a bad huddle. You guys huddled really well. I guess I had bunched up a bunch of blankets against the very back wall where I'd taken out the seat. And so that's what I did. It was like sleeping against a giant soft rock. My toes froze. My fingers froze. But I don't really care so much. I mean, I just wake up and I'm like, oh, they're cold. It's all the Wim Hof stuff, I guess. The Wim Hof stuff, I'm just like, yeah, cold just feels good. So, yeah. And then when I woke up this morning, I look at my maps. Okay, no, this is the creepy part. So I was following signs to get to what I thought was a campground. It was hard. It was late at night, which is a weird concept by itself here. But I drove past this place once and then turned around to go get a better look. And I thought I saw a tent icon. And it said I've fallen there. So the first sign I see is bumpy road, 10 kilometers. And I'm like, okay, go to my little calculator app, 10 kilometers. What is that? Okay, it's about 5 miles. So I set my odometer for 5 miles and it hits 5. And I drive past something. I'm like, that was definitely not it. Right. And then I get to mile 6, mile 7, and I'm like, oh my God, that was it. And it was literally a shanty. It was I was in a village, and it was somehow a secret village. I was so surprised to just find it in the middle of nowhere. It was there and thriving. And then I found out this is not a reservation, no, but this is the Indian land. So that's just where they live. So I had stumbled upon an Indian village. And I was like, oh shit, I'm not supposed to, I don't know what the rules are. I don't know anything. Got to get out of here. So I went past and just parked down the road a little bit. I thought I parked farther from it, but I was so tired last night that I was like, I need to rest now. I'm going to fall asleep at the wheel and die. And so it was intense. It was an intense moment when I made this decision. But I see where I parked this morning. First thing I saw when I woke up was a groundhog, which was totally cool. So I'm not dissing. The land was very kind and very hospitable to me. But I pulled up after this morning and drove, and the first building I saw was Indian burial ground. This is not a visitor attraction. Please do not disturb. And I was like, fuck. I just a random dumb tourist, innocent tourist, in the movie Milan, where that little tiny snake is oh, these are your ancestors? I was just hanging my stuff on here. And he's cooking his food on one of his other ancestors. I feel that scene's stuck in my mind. Who knows if it really happened? But that's probably what I was doing. I'm just let me climb into my little cave car, just huddle my blankets. So it was hospitable to me. And there's one more thing I thought of this morning, but I can't think of it right now. All in all, the land just feels like you want to pray over it. You want to just... It's yeah, yes, that's awesome. You're awesome. Yes. That's Alaska. That's what Alaska's like. Yes, you. Me and you calling each other all the time. Like...
Hey, what's the cash price for gas?
It depends how much you want, honey.
Yeah, of course, that's how gas works. I don't think you answered my question. I need $10 of gasoline.
How many dollars is that?
Do you know what the cash price for gas is? Yeah, it's like $1.50. Okay, that's definitely not correct. The credit price is $6.50. So, does anybody know what the cash price is? Oh yeah, I know. It's 10 cents less than that, so it's $6.40. Okay, I'd like $6.40 of gasoline.
Will that be cash or credit?
You $5 bill.
Cash or credit? Credit. Cash or credit? Cash or credit? Credit. Cash or credit? Credit.
I just told you I wanted cash price for gasoline. I don't understand why this is so difficult. I mean, if your brains are screwed on your heads right, I could have been out of here in like 10 seconds. It was literally not worth my time to even ask for your assistance. I should be working here, but I would never work here because this place is apparently a drain on your intelligence. I'm sorry. I'm having a rough day. This is day 7 of me traveling thousands of miles, and I still have many, many more thousands to go. I'm not even sure if I want to keep going. I feel like I'm going to just get there and then have to turn around, and it's going to be a big, long, exhausting thing. So, sorry to dump all that on you. It wasn't fair of me. Okay, thank you very much. I got my gas. I'm feeling better. Thanks, everybody. Good teamwork.
When I finally got to the end of my trip, I roll into Homer, Alaska. I head down to the harbor, and I pop in the old Salty Dog Saloon. And I immediately felt this sense of heartbreak, because I was at the end. It was done. Everything that had to be accomplished was finished.
Man, it's sad to think this is the end. The point at which the book is all the way opened. And bringing to mind all the moments in between where my fingers were just thumbing through the pages, wondering if I'd finish, wondering where this story would end. And it doesn't matter what the ending is, but it matters that it's appeared. That the ending has come time. And really it's just the ending of the first half and the beginning of the trip home. So that's a whole nother saga. So there's a whole new season of episodes coming out, which is exciting. But still, it touches my heart that this season, which began in such earnest and ambition, was successful. Remember how we started out? We didn't know if we'd make it all the way to Alaska. We wondered if we could. We were afraid we wouldn't be able to sleep in our car. We wouldn't be afraid to make it up as we go, make friends as we went, have a good time, and we did all of it. So it's just very exciting to me that all the fears that we started out with saw their way to growing up and becoming big boys, and those fears grew into dreams or accomplishments, whatever, experience. Like, I don't know, like I'm bigger now. I extend further. So I'm just taking it all in. no problem, Chief. It was no problem, Chief. It was no problem, Chief.